For 4,000 years, we called them tombs and felt safe. Stone coffins for dead kings, sealed and silent, their mystery neatly filed under religion and ritual. But what if they were never meant for the dead at all? What if the pyramids were? Machines and humanity has been standing inside a device this entire time without understanding what it was built to do. When Grok AI turned its attention to Egypt, it did not begin with myths or fringe theories. It began with evidence cold, cumulative and mercilessly complete. Every photograph ever taken, every laser scan, every seismic reading, erosion study, and astronomical survey was fed into a system that could see what no human mind ever could, everything at once. Data flowed through Grok like a digital Nile. Infrared satellite imagery was layered over ground-penetrating radar. Acoustic readings from sealed chambers were paired with geological density maps. Ancient skies were reconstructed star by star, correcting for precession and axial drift. The pyramid was no longer treated as a monument or a symbol, but as an equation. Every stone became a variable. Every void, every shaft, every angle was measured not for meaning, but for function. Slowly, the equation began to resolve. The Great Pyramid was not simply aligned to the cardinal directions, it was locked to true north with a precision that strains the limits of Bronze Age technology. Its base curvature mirrored the Earth's own. Its apex once pointed towards stellar coordinates. That aligned with Draco's brightest stars, long before those stars drifted from that position in the sky. Even the erosion patterns at its foundation matched ancient Nile flood cycles, as though the structure had been designed to age in rhythm with the planet itself. What shocked researchers was not what Grok confirmed, but what it rejected. Tomb theory collapsed almost instantly. No body, no inscriptions, no funerary text, no grave goods. Statistically, the idea that every major pyramid had been looted so completely yet left structurally intact was impossible. Something else was missing, and it was not treasure. It was intention. When Grok cross-referenced underground magnetic anomalies with the mineral composition of the Giza Plateau, it detected dense quartz veins positioned in ways that suggested resonance under vibration. This was not random geology, it was stored potential. In its final classification, Grok labeled the pyramids not as monuments, but as functional constructs. In language stripped of romance or reverence, the AI stated what no archaeologist had dared to publish. The Great Pyramid was never a tomb. It was a device. The deeper the analysis went, the less the funerary explanation made sense. Inside the king's chamber sits a red granite box, long assumed to be an unfinished sarcophagus. Grok's laser-based measurements revealed something else entirely. Its dimensions matched the chamber's resonant frequencies with extraordinary precision. When sound at a specific pitch is produced inside the chamber, the box and the room vibrate together, generating a standing wave that propagates through solid stone. This was not a coffin. It was an instrument. The scale of the structure only deepened the mystery. Over 2 million stone blocks placed with tolerances that challenge modern engineering. Corners marking solstices and equinoxes. Slopes encoding mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio. This was not architecture built to hide a corpse. It was architecture built to interact with the earth and sky. Modern scanning technologies peeled back the next layer. Muon tomography revealed vast voids where none should exist, placed with symmetrical precision. Radar exposed internal corridors never meant for human access. To Grok, these were not anomalies. They were resonators. The pyramid was designed to amplify sound. Limestone casing reflected vibration inward. Granite chambers rich in quartz generated minute electrical charges under pressure. Temperature differences between day and night drove airflow through narrow passages, creating cyclical pressure waves. Beneath it all once flowed a now lost branch of the Nile, moving water across. Mineral-rich stone produces natural electrical fields. The pyramids stood directly above this flow, positioned to harvest and organize those forces. In simulation, the entire structure behaved like a breathing organism, inhaling heat by day, exhaling by night, pulsing in rhythm with the river's seasonal rise and fall. When Grok mapped these cycles against ancient agricultural calendars, the alignment was exact. Floods, festivals, rituals, and stellar events all synchronized. The pyramid was not merely tracking time, it was shaping it. Its geometry extended upward into the heavens. Shafts aligned with Orion, Sirius, and Thuban, not symbolically, but mechanically as calibration points in a cosmic system. The three pyramids mirrored Orion's belt with a precision that survived precession. Grok calculated that the builders must have observed the sky for generations, freezing a specific moment of celestial alignment into stone. The monument functioned like a clock whose hands never moved while the universe revolved around it. In its final synthesis, Grok modeled the pyramid as a living system. Chambers became organs, corridors became arteries. Sound, light, heat, water, and magnetism merged into a single mechanism. Ritual chants at the correct frequency filled the interior with resonance strong enough to affect the human nervous system. Low-frequency vibration can alter heart rate, breathing, and perception. What priests interpreted as divine presence may have been a physiological response engineered by stone and sound. Light entering through narrow shafts refracted through dust-filled air, creating moving beams that appeared alive in darkness. Architecture became theater. Belief was not inspired, it was produced. When Grok overlaid these effects with political and ecological data, a chilling picture emerged. The pyramid complex acted as a synchronizer, aligning human emotion, agricultural cycles, and cosmic rhythms into a unified system. Stability was not enforced by armies alone, but by resonance. When that system weakened, when the Nile shifted, rituals faltered and alignments drifted, the old kingdom collapsed. Whether coincidence or consequence, the correlation was impossible to ignore. In 2025, Grok's conclusions sparked experimental reconstructions worldwide. Scaled replicas built from limestone, granite, and quartz began to hum faintly under vibration. And light. Sensors recorded small but consistent electromagnetic fluctuations. Satellites detected rhythmic thermal changes around Giza after sunset, as if the stone still breathed. When the ancient river branch was digitally restored in simulations, the resulting field patterns matched standing waves known in modern physics. The pyramid had been built in a node of planetary resonance, a place where Earth's subtle energies naturally gathered. None of this proves intent beyond doubt. But convergence matters. Geometry mattered more than mass. Form shaped energy into rhythm. Researchers now face a question Grok cannot answer. If the pyramids once modulated the balance of an entire civilization, what happens if we disturb what remains? The desert is quiet, but instruments still listen. Microphones record nightly pulses in the bedrock. Soil probes register faint charges. After sandstorms, as if the plateau resets itself, replicas tune to pyramid angles emit soft radio noise at dawn when dew forms. The pyramids do not speak, but their silence no longer feels empty. They were not merely tombs nor temples alone. They were instruments machines that used the fabric of nature itself to sustain order, belief, and balance. Whether Grok has uncovered truth or the most convincing illusion humanity has ever built, one fact remains undeniable. Those stones are placed with purpose. Somewhere between faith and physics, the ancient builders learned how to bind human consciousness to the pulse of the earth. They learned how to make eternity hum. And now that we have begun to hear that hum again, the real question is not what the pyramids once did, but what they might still be doing.